Basement Bookers Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Basement Bookers Podcast. This wrestling podcast starring Rich the Riz, the most rizzest, baldest man, and me, just a humble basement champion of the world, co-host of the Basement Bookers Podcast. Happy to be here to talk to you guys about war games specifically. My voice went high pitched because I'm so excited to talk about war games. I'm sorry about that. I hope nobody left. It's not my normal voice if you're new here. I'm doing a bit because I went to the doctor and he said I might be sick.
Hmm. In the head? Can't say that.
Sick with it because I'm
Oh.
sick with it. All right, I'm sick with
Oh.
it, and the sickness is basement champion because I guess more than you, basement Jair's co-host Rich the Riz. But
Yep.
it's
Yep.
okay, buddy. It's okay. We need to know. The people need to know before we know about your low light. Let's talk about the highlights. How was your week leading into this week's episode, filmed Thursday night before SmackDown? What thus far your journey, in appropriately exciting terms?
So I mean, honestly, I can't stop like War Games was War Games, and then we had the aftermath on Raw, and I kind of haven't been able to stop thinking about some of the things that happened on Raw. Like stuff happens in life too. Like I had a week, I worked and this and that and the other thing, but Raw was Raw, and we gotta get to that, but we gotta talk about War Games first. But how about you? How is you got anything else going on in your head besides War Games and Raw?
I went to the dentist
Mm,
today, and I had to get I had cavities, so I had to go get fillings,
mm,
and it was fine. Actually, I enjoy it. I don't know. I gotta say, I really like going to the dentist,
mm.
but I'm happy not to go.
They
When I
give you the
were,
gas, or they injected, or what?
oh, she just applied it to my gums with her fingers, like
Interesting.
with the glove on, obviously. And like, she put the thing on. So I'm like, what are you doing up there? She's like, no,
Mm,
you're all right. I'm like, okay. I was like, and she's like, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I said, numb you up. I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting.
mm,
Because like this is a different one than I normally have.
mm-hmm,
And of course, at first I was like, who are you? You're not the lady from before.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, it turned out okay. I like what they're asking me, like, so what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. It's in the file. Like, she just told me to come in for fillings, and I'm here. So can you look in there? I don't know. Anyway, it was fine.
Mm.
And I'm done. When there
I
was,
think there have been enough lawsuits that the doctors don't want to assume that you have actually agreed to the procedure that they have on their chart.
oh yeah, everything's great. Everything's great above board. I like it there. It's a very nice place. It's a
Mm.
brisk walk from here, but the bus was waiting for me when I was on the way home. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not walking. I'm tired.
I'm I'm already done with this cold, by the way. Like, can it be spring already?
You know what's funny? I wasn't even cold.
Mm,
Like when I went out, I had my sweatpants and my shirt and my fleece and my
mm.
hat, and I was walking and I was fine. But then it got windy and shit, and which is why I'm glad
Yeah,
that I got
yeah.
the bus
The
because
the
my hands
wind.
started to get cold.
Yeah, it's always the wind. I got a feeling this is gonna be a really. We've had some mild winters past couple years. This is gonna be a cold, bitter winter. I think that's my prediction.
Damn it! I might have to take the AC out. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really, really good idea there, bro. It's December. You should probably take that out.
Yeah, it takes up so much room. All right. Anyway, that shit aside, that's my week without wrestling. I had to rewatch the War Games because Saturday feels like a long time ago,
Hmm.
and when you get older, my memory's a little bit hazy. So I was able to rewatch a good amount of it, of the stuff that like was earlier. So the
Hmm.
later stuff is still fresher in my mind, and there's just so much to get to. So without further ado, hopefully you guys stuck around. I'm sorry about that, but I got notes that there are people who want to know who we are, and I thought, why don't we? I don't know, talk some shit about that. But let's go, whatever. Just these jabronis, man.
Hmm.
It's war games time, man. Like, well, let's.
War Games.
For the record, we got the match order like when I did the edit. I'm like, we did pretty good. Like it was kind of in the right order. So
Cool.
let's stick to the tradition of that, and which is why we have the opener, women's Survivor Series War Games match. Richard Rez Team Liv Morgan with Raquel and Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. They're a team, and against. Well, now here's my question: is this Team Bianca or Team Rhea?
You see,
At one
the
point,
the hmm
they said Team Bianca, and then it's not.
I would probably call it Team Bianca be,
Okay.
because she was on the team first. Rhea was the next to last edition or the last edition.
Yeah,
Bailey
I
was
think
late
people get
also.
confused because she says War Games.
Yeah,
That doesn't make it your team.
right.
All right, so Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Bailey, Io Sky, and Naomi.
hmm
I gave this match a 7 out of 10 on the first go around, but I had to bring it down to a 6 after a rewatch.
Mm.
Um, Before I go into that, why don't you tell us what you felt about it and what it might have been some things. We'll probably have much of the same things. We spoke a little bit about it earlier, but
Yeah, I didn't dislike the match as much as a lot of people on the internet have disliked it. As we know, social media gives everyone a voice, and it's often the most controversial that becomes the loudest. A lot of people online were talking a lot of crap about this match. I didn't dislike that much. I have really one criticism about the match. One, Tiffany Stratton goes up and hits a flying cross body, but she goes up at the same time and hits the flying cross body at the same time that Io hits her garbage can spot. And I feel like Tiffany should have known that everyone was going to be watching Io and paying attention to Io because that's her thing, the garbage can spot off the top. The fact that it was a moonsault from Io with the garbage can, yeah, okay, the thing flew off. Maybe she didn't hold on inside, whatever. I don't know. But sure, that like the spot itself could have been better. But I feel like going through it, talking it out, someone should have said, wait a second, let's not do this at the same time. Let's have Tiffany do her thing first, have people, get people excited. Holy shit, that was great. If it was, whatever. And then, like maybe 2.5, 3 minutes later, you have Io do her spot. It's like you build them up, you hit the spot, they come back down, you build them back up, and you hit the bigger spot. That's my only real criticism about the match.
well, maybe you're right, but like there's an agent that puts these together.
Mm-hmm.
So that was rehearsed. They
Mm-hmm.
meant either they were supposed to do it the way you say, where it's supposed to like
One and
one
then the
goes
other.
first and then the other. Maybe that's the way it was supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing that took me out of it is I saw them looking. I'm like, oh my god, this is synchronized diving now. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? This is no. I don't. I rebuke you.
Mm-hmm.
Get get thee behind me. You are a demon. You are a demon, and I cast you out. And no, it still went and did its demonic things. It's
Mm-hmm.
synchronized dumpster diving crap. I didn't like that shit. Um, I didn't feel a sense of urgency. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was more games than war. I want more war in my war games. More war than games and war games. Like you're out there, and there's a reason it's in the War Games. There's a reason it goes to that.
Mhm.
It's you could have. I'm not the first person to say this. I'm not like some kind of like prophet, but just because the men have a thing doesn't mean the women have to have it too. They could have definitely done just so they can like connect both things. Survivor Series, War Games. You have the women do a traditional Survivor Series match. That could have been a
Mhm.
Survivor Series match. It didn't have to be. It didn't have to be War Games. It really didn't. They the physicality that's required in a War Games, it's
Mhm.
not going to be believable from them. Especially, bro. I don't look when I say bro. It has nothing to do with anybody else that says bro.
Right.
I just want to say that. Okay, it's not like saying you're fired. Okay,
Mhm.
it's these are words. It's kind of like that. I'm just saying a thing.
Mhm.
Okay, I counted. She was hit with that baseball bat, Rhea Ripley,
Mhm.
at least 7 times. At least 7 times, dude. What is that
A
thing made
lot.
out of? It's made out of bullshit. It's made out of bullshit. Cause like I was telling you a messenger, I'm like, when Rhea Ripley got hit that many times with the bat, I was like, well, I guess that's it. Rich is right. They're gonna win, sons of bitches. And then what happens? Rhea Ripley. I'm Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Mhm.
That ain't gonna work for me, brother. Rip tied through the table, all handcuffed.
Mm.
Like I was happy with the outcome. It's what I wanted. But they don't do the thing with the bat like that. It's a bat. Can you pretend it's a real bat? Like that's the whole point of the thing. If the synchronized dumpster diving already pulled me out,
Mhm.
I was like, maybe there's a chance. I don't know. But hey, riptide through the table. One, two, three.
Yeah.
Like Rhea Ripley has right now, without being champion,
Mhm.
right now kind of has this like Bianca Belair status. Now, remember, it was when Bianca Belair was champion, it
Mhm.
was KOD and you get pinned. One, two, three. KOD, one, two, three. That's what it was
Yep.
for Bianca for a while. And
Mhm.
uh that's where Rhea is right now. And she's not the champion.
Mhm.
Not even
Well, I mean, you got to sort of presume that that the plan pre Rhea's injury with the broken orbital bone was for Rhea to stay at the top of the card and eventually face Liv again for the title. Rhea's eventually going to get that title back, whether it's from Liv Morgan or from someone else. We know she's getting that title back. So obviously they're going to want to protect her. My guess is she's probably going to get that title back a little bit sooner rather than later. I'm not saying maybe this month or next month, whatever, but maybe Rumble, maybe probably by Mania. Because if you think about it, that is still soon. Maybe Elimination Chamber. But to your point about the women not needing a War Games match at Survivor Series,
I'm not
I
saying they
agree
don't
with I
I'm not
agree
saying they
with
don't
you
have
for a
to.
different right. I agree with you for a different reason. I agree with you because I feel like if we were to take Rhea and Liv out of it, where's the real heat in this match? War Games, like for instance, Bloodline versus Midline, had a lot of heat. That storyline's been going on for I mean, essentially 3 years already. If we go back to before the Bloodline Midline split, 3 years, 4 years, that is a huge, huge, heated storyline. Take out Liv and Rhea, there's no real heat there. Naya and Bianca,
I
there's no
don't
real heat. That definitely, I agree, could have been a traditional Survivor Series match. And you know what? That gets more variety on the card.
But here's the thing, buddy.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want anybody to think I'm some kind of misogynist.
Hmm.
Like, I've always been cool with women's matches, whatever they were doing.
Hmm.
But like, it's not just that, but it's like, don't you think you could tell a more interesting story with these women in a Survivor Series style matchup where it's
Hmm.
elimination? Like, it's not elimination in war games, okay? You lose the elimination aspect of the Survivor Series match. You know who the sole survivor is going to be. You know, like who's going to be, alone. Who's going to
Hmm.
have to like fight through the odds? Who's going to, you know, like own the thing? Is it going to be a
If
shutout? Like,
if I recall correctly, and thank you for reminding me of that. If I recall correctly, the last female sole survivor was Lana.
yeah, you
And
see,
she was teamed with Nia Jax at the time. You remember Nia was putting it through a table every week, every week, every week, every week, and then Nia tried to control her in the match and say, "You stay in the corner." Nia ends up getting eliminated, and Lana won the match for her team.
yeah. So yeah, then they can like wash that away with like a really, really good Survivor Series match.
I
Like
feel
that
like,
that could have been a great story.
yeah, these women absolutely could have put on a great traditional Survivor Series match. You have the
Yeah, Tiffany
faces go
Stratton with
down.
the briefcase.
Yep. That was like I was like I was like, what is she digging for? Oh, the briefcase. And then I was like, wait a second, this could be interesting. Who's she
Everybody
gonna
was
go
like,
for?
"How's this work?" Even the
Right.
announcer was like, "All right, so what's she gonna do here?" And then
Mm.
Grape like, "Whatever she wants, Cole." I'm like, what does that mean though? Like, yo, Graves needs to check his shit, man.
Why would I miss?
All
Or
right,
what do I not remember?
when Candace was gonna do like the moonsault onto Bailey off the cage or whatever,
Mm,
and like he says she nailed it dead on. Like only her hands
mm,
touched her belly. Like,
hmm.
like get all of that. It's like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, as the poison pixie, all the poison resides in her hand, so she landed poison first, right on her belly.
So I should just throw all the rules out of the window, huh?
She's a
Does it make
poison pixie.
that
She
doesn't
had the
mean what
pixie
you
dust right on her hands.
all right, cool. Well, that's great. So do that mean you give it like a 9 out of 10?
Nah, I give it a 6.8.
Oh wow, you gave him point 0.8 more points than me.
Mm,
Which yeah, and you know what? That's really all we have to say. Like a lot of people were saying some mean shit. Like I get it. Some stuff was rough. Like those Nia Jax chair shots was like, yeah, that was rough to watch. But like,
mm.
I don't know. What do you want? You want her to cave somebody's head in, or do you want like? But the middle is a little bit difficult for her. I don't know. I've never been in that situation before.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
tough to manage these matches, to put them together, to coordinate 10 people.
I've seen Hogan do that shit. So she's got something in common with Hulk Hogan.
There you go.
You ever see that? There's like I think it's like late stage WCW spot. And he's supposed to hit somebody with a chair, and he's just like this with it to them. Like he like touches their head with the chair, and they sell it. It's
I
like
remember
really,
that.
it's ugh, it's rough, brother. So look,
Mhm.
she's in good company. All right.
Two
So
Hogan references.
yeah, dude. Oh, also like the looking for stuff. Like I get the gimmick of getting things, but like your friends are getting beat up, man. Like you gonna help them?
Hmm.
This doesn't make any sense. Like Raquel Rodriguez comes in
Hmm.
and she's like, yeah, get him, guys, while she's
Hmm.
looking for shit. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fuck? How about you come in and help?
that's a thing too. That has to be done better.
Yeah,
Maybe maybe they should bring some stuff into the shark cage with them. Also, like not to skip too far ahead, but for the men, you got Bronson Reed and Solo Sokoa and whoever else in there, Jacob Fatu. You could probably make the shark cages a little bigger.
I was gonna say, like,
I'm
that's
just
a
thinking of their comfort, you know?
yeah. I was like, that's a lot of meat, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
They gotta try and stay warmed up. Meanwhile, this is like the only room they gotta work with.
it's like being in an elevator. Like you have to watch wrestling from an elevator,
Hmm.
and you're all big people.
What if they keep the shark cages the same size, they squeeze them in there, and they play shitty elevator music? Could you imagine watching War Games and you subject to like the Muzak version of I don't know Randy Orton's voices?
Well, we're not in here for cruel and unusual punishment, Rich the Riz. Let's put that out of our minds. Oh my goodness, this nightmare fuel, buddy. You trying to hurt people's sensibilities here. I'm trying to. All right. Well, let's talk about the United States Championship match.
Match two.
Shinsuke Nakamura
Right.
versus the former United States champion. It's old Shinsuke Nakamura in here because new Shinsuke Nakamura. Let's talk about it. Shinsuke Nakamura. What do you think about his new? What do you think of the new music? I like it. I dig it.
I like it too. It definitely shows audibly and visually too with the video and the lighting and everything that this turn to the dark side and
The Shogun
commentary.
Nakamura.
Yeah, and commentary told us that he was doing some meditating while he was away, and during this meditating, he unlocked this new viciousness inside him. I'm digging it.
I love it. I think it's great, and I think it's a great way to reintroduce him as the United States champion. I got no
That's right.
complaints here.
Hmm.
The usual LA night, you know,
Yeah.
Shinsuke's doing the strong style is just too strong
Hmm.
for and quick for LA night. What your thoughts?
Yeah, it was pretty quick, a little quicker than I expected. But we both picked Shinsuke here. We were both correct, of course. New U.S. champ, as you mentioned. I've been saying for a while, LA Knight kind of hasn't been doing anything with the U.S. title other than just keeping it from Andrade and Carmelo. So this, I mean, maybe that was we were just waiting for this. So good, I like it. Let's see LA Knight chase. Um, is Andrade a heel or a face? I don't know. He's probably going to chase also. I like it. Wherever we're going, I'm looking forward to it.
I was thinking that Shinsuke could fight anybody. Like with this new viciousness, like what does he
Mhm.
care about alignment? So that opens up all sorts of opportunities.
Yeah, a
Like
lot of
he'll fight like they should make it like he'll fight a bloodline guy and he's still
mm,
the heel. Like he's the heel
mm,
somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the dangerous one. Like
feed
whoever's
him
up,
Tangaloa.
I don't care. Anyone. Like that would be very interesting. And then you could
Hmm.
just build them up and eventually maybe him and Jacob can fight. You know what I mean? That's what I would do.
Mm, really good. I get this match a 7.4.
7.4. It's about it's a 7 for me.
Mm.
Actually, no, it's an 8 for
Oh.
Nakamura. 'Cause I really like Shogun Nakamura. I like
Mhm,
this. I really hope it's gonna go somewhere. Like, because this is the best version for me of the
mhm,
returns of him. Because many times there's been stops and starts, but I like he changes gear. I think
mhm.
that's a good start, and it's good. I hope they do something good here, and I hope AJ gets better because then we can have AJ Styles in there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't wait for that. And of course, not to dig up old wounds, but of the stops and starts from Nakamura, the whole not no speak the English was rough. So I'm glad we are well
it was
past
a
that.
different time. Um, it was a long time ago, actually.
And
Uh,
under a tyrant far, far away.
we weren't even gonna go that far, but psychologically, let's talk about psychological warfare. Rich, there is psychological warfare that was waged upon you last
Mm.
week on this very podcast. Let's talk about the triple threat match. Braun Breaker versus the Great White himself, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser.
We need a neutral party to be the producer of the show to make these graphics.
It's
So
not
you
my
stop
fault.
fucking with me.
It's not my fault that they didn't have one made for them. Because if they did, I would have just used theirs. I had to do this myself. So really, I didn't think it would work, but it did.
It's Triple H's fault. He's fucking with me.
Dude,
He wants to be like the he thinks I'm coming for his throne as the great Baldos. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm Baldo here with a headset. He's a Baldo in Gorilla with a
dude,
headset, but
there was a split second, bro, where I was like, Ludwig Kaiser could win this shit. A split second.
mhm.
But then I came to my senses. Braun Breaker, what a hero. Hero of the week to me. He did it, bro. And the way he speared Sheamus, where he's like, get up. Like, and when he was calling Sheamus old man, I was like, damn it, Sheamus might win this shit. And no, he didn't win at all. Like Sheamus broken or something.
Yeah, rib for a rib.
Oof. So what's next for Ludwig Kaiser? What'd you rate this match? For me, it was a solid 8. Because of personal reasons. Braun Breaker did what had to be done. He crushed. Like that spear to Kaiser just decimated him. He was just gone.
Yeah.
Then he got Sheamus. I was like, he's not getting up.
It was rough. It was a good match. Solid triple threat. I also give it an 8. Good storytelling throughout.
Yeah. What's next for Braun Breaker is anyone's guess.
Well, you gotta figure there's probably gonna be a draft between like when they move to Netflix, when Raw moves to Netflix. Probably. I don't know
Sure.
for sure, but probably. So the whole could all get shaken up.
Well, you didn't say that when we were talking about the United States title.
Well, Shin's brand new on the scene
I
in his
see.
own way.
I
So
see.
Braun's had the title twice now, but for kind of a while, all
That's-
told.
I I think Kaiser's next. I think Kaiser, Braun Breaker. Maybe they'll feud one on
Could be.
one. Because Sheamus had his shot,
Mhm.
and Kaiser still needs to make a name for himself. He still needs to be better, like his ancestors or whatever.
Like his father,
Um,
Axel Dieter.
that's right. So let's talk about the ring general Gunter versus Damian Priest. This match went longer than I thought it would. I really thought that Gunter would squash Priest, but he didn't. And
Finn Balor did though.
that's right. So what I meant to say was Finn Balor
Mhm.
took away Gunter's chance to prove himself because I think he would have beaten him regardless, but that's not what Gunter thinks.
Mhm.
Maybe maybe he does believe that, but the people aren't. You know what I'm saying? That's like it's like that's ammunition.
Mhm.
Because it's like, oh, if it wasn't for me, blah blah blah. So now it's gonna be Gunter versus Balor.
Yep.
What? How'd you rate the match? We should still talk about it, even though to me it was a far gone conclusion. Gunter wrestled his match.
Gunter and Priest, I give it 8.2.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it an 8. Being very generous for War Games because it's Thanksgiving. It was a Thanksgiving tradition a month
That's right.
ago. Just because it's December doesn't mean I don't remember. I'm thankful for war games.
Thankful to Dusty for giving us War Games.
Yeah. Um, but I digress. So, Rich, what do you make of this now? Finn Balor versus Gunter main event.
Probably, yeah. It's gonna be Finn and Gunter. That's a nice main event. Is my guess. I think. Oh yeah, yeah. The Pierce announced it on Raw, and then I think
It might
Pierce
be
is
a
gonna.
monthly thing.
Oh, is it Saturday night's main event?
It might be. Yeah.
Man, they love fucking with us, don't they?
They do actually, very
But
much.
it's interesting. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on NBC and Peacock simultaneously.
Just like the old days, it was on NBC.
Mm-hmm. Which of course owns Peacock. Um, I think Pierce is gonna make Finn Balor fight twice in the same night.
I hope so. Cause then it's like finally somebody gets punished for being an asshole.
Mm-hmm. I read something from Nick Aldis. He said that when Triple H brought him on board, he didn't bring him on board to be your typical run of the mill authority figure. So I feel like there's between him and Pierce is probably going to be we're going to see different stuff than what we're used to seeing. I think eventually they're probably going to have a match. We've seen a little bit of feuding between them.
I mean, look, if Nigel McGuinness can get in there, then
Mm,
they can get in there.
That's right.
Get in there and
Good match.
wrestle.
It's a good match with I didn't love the finish, but anyway, that's beside the point. That's a whole nother company.
We only have time for one company today,
That's right.
actually.
God damn it.
Yeah. All right. So is that all with that, or
Yeah. Gunter still feels the need to prove himself, and he's probably going to make an example out of Finn at Saturday night's main event,
yeah? I
which is
think
next week.
Priest is out. Right. I think they like did they write him off with that attack?
Yeah, I wonder if he got hurt at War Games, or if it's just take some time off because we got nothing for you unless Priest costs Finn the match.
Oh my God! And then they do a triple threat match, and then
Yep.
he beats both of them, just like when he
Mhm.
beat Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
Stack them.
Yeah. Go
Cordwood.
and then move on with your life.
There you go.
All right, let's talk about the main event of the evening,
Speaking of moving on,
which is good, right? Did I transition
yes.
correctly? All right, here we go. The War Games. Now, for a second there, I thought I would sweep, but then I didn't,
Mm,
which is fine with me. I acknowledge my tribal chief. I just thought I just felt from a storyline standpoint that this OG bloodline loses nothing. You know what I mean? They're still the OG bloodline.
hmm
And like Solo's like bloodline still doesn't like they didn't win the War Games match. You know what I mean?
hmm
So um I gave it a 9 because it's a bloodline episode.
Yep.
There were some things where it's like people got so weird when they got mad that Jacob came right back up from getting in the head with the toolbox. And I'm like, he's Samoan. He's
hmm
Samoan, and he's like the worst of them.
Yep.
Like, doesn't that mean he's like the most powerful?
Absolutely should.
So, and like even when at first with the toolbox, they were running, it's like their heads were attracted to it. The other ones, you
Well,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Like they just
hmm
got pulled to it, and they went down, but just for a little bit.
hmm
So
Well, because I mean, they are the sons of Haku.
I didn't do my homework. I
hmm
meant to do my homework, and everybody, it's all going around on social media that the Uso that's on the ground is doing the handshake while the other two are
Jay.
doing it.
hmm
I'm pretty sure this happened before. in another War Games match with the Bloodline. So I did to rewatch that. So now I'm going to rewatch that and report back. But I'm pretty sure a similar scene took place
Mm-hmm.
at that one.
I remember watching it live, and I didn't realize until I saw the memes and everything. But I
I
remember watching
noticed
it
it right
live.
then.
I did too, but I was like, why is Jay flailing around? I was looking past the actual handshake happening and looking at Jay. I'm
Oh,
like, what's he doing? Is he flat? Is he signaling someone? What's
it's funny. Like you're looking at the smaller part of the screen,
because I'm nuts like that. I've been watching wrestling too fucking long, and I know everything fucking matters. So I was watching Jay.
except
I'm
for
like,
what's
who's
right in front of you.
right? But apparently, so like he was doing the handshake at the same time. I guess the twin connection.
Yeah, twin
So
magic.
right. So we had was it Roman accidentally speared Punk, something like that?
Yeah, but I mean, Punk did save Tribal Chief's life.
Yes. And then they
He
all hit their finishes on solos, send the crowd home happy. Then Roman and Punk, they shake hands. Roman hugs Heyman, Punk hugs Heyman, and there's the brief back and forth about I'm gonna let you know when I want that favor, which was then mentioned on Raw.
I would think it would be getting him a title match against Gunter.
Should be easy.
He's a wise man. That's what I mean. That's what I think the favor is.
That could certainly be it. And then Punk said, "We owe each other,"
Oh, interesting.
which to me that means you like Punk could ask Heyman a favor, and Heyman could be like, "All right, do me a favor. Um, don't ask me that," and then just it's a wash.
Oh, interesting.
But I think in the world of wrestling, that's not what's gonna happen.
No, because it's wrestling.
Right.
Okay. No, but there's a couple of things before that. Like remember when Roman was like about to walk out? He was about to like swagger out of the shark cage, and then
Mhm.
CM Punk just like cuts the line, just runs in.
Yep.
Because
Because
before that, Punk was wanted to go out, but then he sent somebody else instead. I
yeah,
think it
Roman
was
sent Sammy.
Sammy. So he was like, so it was interesting.
He was being chief of the tribe.
Yeah, because he knows Sammy knows what he's doing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Maybe we don't know how much recovered Punk is after his Hell in a Cell match with Drew McIntyre, who we're
Yep,
going to talk about right now.
that's right. But also 3 war games in a row that Jay and Sammy are standing tall.
That's right. That's right.
It's interesting. Interesting lore there. Drew
Sammy
McIntyre.
Uso.
Sammy
Drew
Uso. That's right.
McIntyre is back because Bronson Reed broke both his fucking ankles. He wanted to go viral. I warned him. I said there's ways to go viral that might not be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
He took the Sid Justice route.
At least he didn't break his leg. At least
Thankfully, but
Sid Justice broke his legs. His
he
legs.
did. But like you're a big dude. Maybe don't come off a high thing, or if you do, like you gotta put your feet up a little more. So it was probably such a far fall, he didn't realize his feet would drop below his knees
Yeah.
and hit the mat first.
You
Because when you
think
hit
they would go through these things?
alas,
Shit, I wanted to ask a question, but I forgot what it was. Oh, did you think Jacob hurt himself when he when he
I
came
did.
off of that? Like I was like, yeah, because it was like such a simple thing, and it's like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
I guess he
he
screwed up, but he's like, I'm overselling this shit.
Yeah, he landed a little awkwardly and then decided to just sell it, which I think is fantastic because it had people believing. Because you know what, that would be real.
Yeah, because he didn't quite hit the move.
Hmm.
So at least you do it that way. Oh, he fucked up doing the move. Oh
Hmm.
shit, that could happen.
Yeah, like the way Seth tore his ACL doing
Yeah.
the thing on Kane.
Really, you could do anything, honestly, and
Hmm.
just do it the wrong way, and then just something don't work good no more.
Yeah, Triple H tearing his quad, just breaking up a pin. Vince tearing both quads, just running to the ring.
So that's right. Do you believe Drew McIntyre attacked Jay?
Yeah.
It had to be right because it wasn't Seth Rollins proven when he
Hmm.
won his match against Sami Zayn. You know,
Hmm.
when you win your match, you're right. It's trial by combat. We all know
Hmm.
that. Drew McIntyre's back.
Yup.
So what's the plan here? Is Drew McIntyre just fill in for Bronson Reed? Because I know Drew was supposed to be coming back before that even happened.
Mm.
There was talk.
Is he
Is he after
filling?
Jay since he's done with CM Punk?
It could be a combination of filling in for Bronson Reed and at the same time, all right, well, Bronson's out, so let's pull up. Let's like bring the timeline for your storyline to now.
I
It was
think he
probably
wants
supposed to be a
revenge
bit
on
later.
Jay. I think he wants revenge on Jay.
Yeah.
Um, and if that means hurting Sammy to get to Jay or whatever, because you know after CM Punk, it's Jay. Remember, Jay took his title opportunity
Yep.
by winning that match. So maybe Jay's next on his grievance
Also,
tour.
Jay, member of the Bloodline.
Exactly.
Drew's whole thing is,
Dude, if this
the
leads to Drew
Bloodline kept
versus
fucking with him.
Roman, heel Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, I'm here for that. That would be cool. That would be cool, man.
I don't
He's
think
trying
that
to
like
get the bloodline because
that's
he's not helping
probably
Solo. He's doing it for himself.
yeah. That could be the Rumble match.
Oh my God, Drew McIntyre, bloodline hunter.
Hmm. He could blame Roman for the creation of the new bloodline too. Like he could feud with both of them if he wanted.
I mean, if he wanted, but like, you don't want to cheer for him, right? Like,
Nah,
he's a
yeah,
heel.
yeah. Um, I'm saying it's a turn they could ultimately take. Drew versus Roman at the Rumble,
At
or they
full
just
gear.
what's the Mania match? What's Roman's Mania match? Is it Roman versus Solo?
I hope it's Roman Reigns versus The Rock, if I'm being honest. I'd rather be Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Although it might be Cody versus The Rock.
Could be Cody
Actually, it's
versus
going to
Rock.
be The Rock versus whoever the fuck he wants, if I wanted to be honest about that.
He is kind of the boss.
Yeah. It said that, like, what he wants is basically like if the main guy from the thing says it. So, like, whatever he says goes.
Hmm. Makes sense. So Drew's back. He's hunting Bloodline. Probably took out Jay. We know he Claymored Sammy. Punk teamed with the Bloodline, so
I think that's done. What? Please. The
yeah.
Hell in a Cell is the
Hmm.
end.
Yep.
No más, por favor. No más.
Mm.
I already said no más. No más.
No more match, eh?
No more. That's it. That's enough. I've had it. At least not for another 2 years. Okay, 2 years. There's this Drew McIntyre CM Punk embargo that I've placed upon the WWE. Respect
I
my
like it.
water.
I like it.
Obviously, house shows don't count. I'm talking
Right.
about TV.
Hmm.
Obviously, house shows those are anomalies. I can't really cover that too much. You know what I mean? Listen, this podcast is something very important we got to talk about, man. Because the New Day celebrated 10 years anniversary. a
Yes.
decade of positivity. Um, wow. Like I didn't know. Like I just thought everybody was gonna be cool and everything was gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the middle. Like there were people that thought they were gonna break up, and there's people that thought it was gonna be okay. Nobody was like option C, which is the New Day together, Kofi and Xavier
Mm-hmm.
basically kicking Big E, who wanted to like be their manager, until he could get back in the ring, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't know.
Right. It's like, listen, now you want to come help us? Like we've been arguing with each other for months, and now that we're on the verge of breaking up, now you want to come in and get us on track. No, you should have gotten us back on track months ago when we started to fall off the rails. But you got this cushy new desk job, you got this girlfriend, you got whatever the hell else, and you want to be our manager? No,
You
fuck
know
out of here.
what, man? I've been on a roll lately, I feel like, with agreeing with heels. I've agreed with Kevin Owens,
Mm-hmm.
and oddly enough, for the same reason, I agree with the New Day. I agree with them because
Mm-hmm.
they're right. This stuff hits me on a very visceral level. I yeah, 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 they're right. They're right, Biggie. They're right. They're
Mm-hmm.
right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How dare you not fix your broken neck? Edge did. You know, I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, Paige did. But you
Yeah,
can't say that, can you?
can't say that. They can say Edge because they own that.
Exactly. What was it? Kurt Angle. They mentioned Kurt Angle.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Austin, what?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like, wow, man. And I felt the sadness. Like I thought it would be sadder, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. You too, Kofi? You too, Kof? You too, Kof?
I
Big E's coming back. Big E is
I
coming
hope
back.
so. I hope so. I hope so
Big
for a
E
lot of
coming back.
reasons, but also for this feud, right? Um, I kind of thought if that was how it was, if Woods and Kofi were gonna stay together and turn on Big E, I kind of thought it would be Xavier doing most of the talking, right? And Kofi kind of just like looking torn, looking distraught about the situation, and then dropping the hammer and saying, "No, Big E, he's right." But this worked too because
This
we
felt
we
like a
thought,
conversation.
yeah. I like that they said that they talked during the week, and it's a little thing to say that, but I feel like a lot of times the way the storylines are fed to us, it's as if the only things that happen on TV. Like there's nothing in between a lot. But they said, okay, we talked out during the week, and this is the decision we came to. That's when Biggie comes out, and here we are. I've been thinking about that segment all week. Um, Biggie's act. I love Biggie. His acting wasn't on point. Maybe he was. I don't know if he was too emotionally invested in it and couldn't think of anything else to say or whatever. I thought Woods and Kofi were on point. This was got to be the last week and this week. Their segments absolutely knocked it right out of the park.
It helps when you're
And
right.
yeah,
You
that too.
know, being right helps from your
It
point
does.
of view, at least.
Hmm. Um, when that segment happened, and then there was more Raw. I'm like, that wasn't it. To me, that
But
was the biggest segment on Raw.
but Rich, Seth Rollins wrestled Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and it was a good match, and then
Drew
we had the return of Drew
McIntyre,
McIntyre,
he came
which I
back.
I get that that's why they closed with that,
There's holes in
but
the Judgment Day.
the New Day segment was for me the biggest segment of the show.
But Rich the Riz, there's holes in the Judgment Day. The starting the show.
Hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
Dominic Mysterio wrestled Gunter.
When you listen to Finn, you win.
It's a good rhyme.
Hmm.
He should have put a little bit more Irishman into it.
Yeah, I cannot do an accent.
It's okay, buddy. You don't need to
I
do
try
an
and do an
accent.
accent, and in my head it sounds good, and then I hear it back, and I'm like, no, 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 that's not it at all.
Well, if you do it here, you don't listen back anyway, so you're never going to have to hear it. But everybody else is going to hear it.
I don't
They'll
want to pay
know.
for YouTube Premium and download. Damn it.
I'm going to stab you in the head with my phone next time I see you. But you
Okay.
better hope that's not soon, because I like my phone. Damn it. I don't want to hurt you with it.
I don't want to get hurt with it. So Finn's probably
Retarded?
How's for you, friend?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
What
as,
was
as
that
we
about
mentioned,
Finn Balor? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
sorry, as we mentioned earlier, Finn's gonna have 2 matches at Saturday Night's Main Event. Is our prediction.
I really hope it happens, dude. Like, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be very upset. I'm not going to be very upset. I'm going to be a little disappointed.
I want Pierce to say something on the lines of, "That's what happens when you fuck with me."
I mean, it's about time, because nobody really pays for anything.
Mhm.
That's what I want. I want people to suffer. There are consequences.
I would love for them to re-implement the 30-day rule.
30 days, you know what? It's got to mean something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody could enforce it because there's so many belts. You know what I mean?
So
Just
many.
spread it out. Intercontinental Championship,
Mm-hmm. That's coming.
Well, we don't have time for that shit. I think it should be Natalia, but is she even involved? I don't even
She is.
know. Okay, then she should win.
I don't know if she's in the IC of the US, but she's involved in whichever one
She
on
better be
whatever
in the
show she's on.
IC one. Sonya's upset that she's not in hers.
Mm.
Oh,
Where has she been?
did you see the War Games promo thing where they said where they're from?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that was so fucking funny.
Did
I'm like, they
someone?
watched Key and Peele also.
Yeah, someone just saw that Key and Peele and is like, "Oh, this could be a thing. This is
I
good."
bet you Bronson Reed, the way he did his, I think it was him. He was like, Tsunami University.
Tsunami University.
I like who was it? Tongaloa's was pretty good. Like, he did his actual colleges.
Yeah.
And what?
It's like, all right, you're not the first Samoan to go to college, bro.
I thought Solos was great. Tribal Chief University.
I love you, Solo.
Roman Reigns. The Island of Relevancy.
So good.
With Jimmy Uso. NYU. No Yeet University.
That was so good. That was excellent. Like it
The
was
lamest
good.
one was actually Sammy's. Like, his wasn't the best one. Like, everybody else was better than his.
I don't remember Sammy's.
Sami Zayn, Uso Penitentiary, I think.
Which
Something
makes
like
sense.
that.
He feuded with like each of them. So
Yeah.
plus him and KO feuding with them.
Was it? Oh, Tamatonga.
Yeah,
His-
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was all he said.
No, he said something else after. I want to have to play it now because you're messing it up.
I win.
We have to do it accurately. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked it, and because it's on the WWE one.
Hmm.
Oh, Jacob Fatu 2 hours ago. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Time to blaze up this cold weather. I love you, Solo. Prayer hands as bookends. All right, let's see. It's got here somewhere.
Jacob's so
what?
entertaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna get from WWE because that's where I got it from. This is it. We're gonna play it because Rich DeRiz tricked everybody.
That's right.
State.
So Sammy's wasn't bad until the end. It just
Yeah,
he's like, I didn't know where to say I was from, so just Uso Penitentiary.
yeah. Like what was he gonna say? Taxi Cab University? Remember, he used to be a cab driver. He had a little
Yeah,
cabbie hat, you know. Like,
yeah. I don't know what he could have said honestly, but neither did he. He gets paid a lot more than we do.
fuck yeah, he does. All
Like
right.
he knew. I don't know how long in advance, but he had time to think about that. I don't know, whatever. I'm not the creative one of this podcast, so that's all you, bro.
I'm
So I,
trying.
you do well.
All righty. Well, I've done all I can for this podcast this week. Because really, all we did was watch Raw and Survivor Series. We didn't get anything else. So to say anything else about it would be uncivilized. Like we didn't. What do we know?
All right.
We know about Monday Night Raw. It's a good old episode of Monday Night Raw, and soon it's going to be 3 hours, and it's confirmed that
Yep.
it's going to be the same rating as it was before. You
Oh.
idiots! Like, what, what do you think was going to happen? No, it's still like a public. It's still like want more people to see it. When
Mm.
you raise the rating and stuff, you make it so less people see it.
Also,
It's why age
sponsors
restricted.
can change.
Yeah, it's why age restricted sucks on YouTube. You know,
Mm.
yeah, sponsors like you want to keep Slim Jim. You want to keep Hasbro. You want to keep Hasbro or Mattel, whatever the hell you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
you need to chill the fuck out. They're not some wrestling podcast on the internet who doesn't know what a rating really means at the end of the day.
Facts.
But
We do what we want.
we do what we want, and what we want to do right now is get the hell on out of here. Um,
Yep. So let us know down below what you thought of Survivor Series War Games and all the matches and who did this and that and the other. Drew's return. Did you think it was Drew that attacked Jey Uso, or was it someone else? What do you think of the New Day split? Are the New Day right, or is Big E right? Let us know down below. And Joe's got a party message.
should they have spent more time with the EO Sky and Bailey storyline in that whole War Games thing? And do you think it would have been better to have a traditional War Games match? Like, I mean, Survivor Series match with the girls instead, like an elimination type Survivor Series match. Like, come on, and then you can mix it up. Maybe next time there is no men's War Games match and they have a traditional Survivor Series match instead. Like, let's mix things up a little bit.
Yep.
You forget about the Survivor Series part. Where's the Survivor
Variety.
part of War Games?
Variety is the spice of life.
That's right. And the match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the Bookers. Patreon.com/BasementBookersPod.